So in the last class we were discussing about quadrature implementation of a modulator, where a modulator, instead of creating the phases for the individual symbols that are transmitted, we are going to split, or we are going to designate the amplitudes as the coordinates of the IQ plot or the IQ plane, and then using the structured or the coordinate set, we are going to assign I and Q value, which will be multiplied individually with the in-phase carrier called cos omega naught t, and the other one Q phase carrier, which is the sin omega naught t. Once you multiply, you are going to sum them up, and then you are going to transmit this information as the symbol. This is because of the reason that we are going to have a complex representation of the so-called symbol that is generated. How do we represent this in complex form? It is g of t multiplied by e to the power j omega naught t, where g of t is the baseband data and this e to the power j omega t is the carrier information, or the carrier, complex carrier signal. So whenever we are going to send a symbol, it will be the real part of this baseband pulse multiplied with a complex carrier signal. So using the same analogy, now we are going to look at how a differential 8 PSK. So this is a 8 PSK, that means in an MIS system we call it as 8 PSK, where I am going to have 8 individual symbols which are used to represent a set of bits. So when it comes to this scenario, m value is equal to 8. That means how many number of bits per symbol? Calculate and tell me. How many bits constitute one symbol? Yes? No answer?
3.
3. Okay. How did we find that? Number of bits per symbol is denoted by the letter k, which is given by log m to the base 2. Log m to the base 2. So when we do this, we are going to obtain log 8 to base 2 value is equal to 3. That means 3 bits constitute one symbol. So having said that, now we are going to do this encoding procedure. For this, all the 8 symbols, we are going to assign the phases in such a way that whenever we are going to transmit a particular phase, we are not going to send the absolute phase instead of differential phase. So that's the reason why the name is D8 PSK. That means it is differential 8 PSK. It's a differential scheme used on 8 PSK system. So how this is achieved, let us see that. We will have the structure of the modulator something like this. We are going to send the symbols or the bit streams in a group of 3, where symbols are recognized as xk, yk and zk, x being the MSB and z being the LSB. So we are going to send the bits like this. We are going to pass this bits, set of 3 bits, into an encoder. What this encoder does is, depending on the 3 bits that are coming in, whether it is all 0 combination up till 1111 combination, whichever the bits combination comes in, it is going to assign the IQ amplitudes. It is going to assign the IQ amplitudes for this. Once we know the IQ amplitude, then this will be passed through a pulse shaping mechanism or pulse shaping filter. Retaining the same amplitude, it will do the pulse shaping. Let us consider, for simplicity's sake, this pulse shaping is of rectangular in nature, so that it will retain the shape as is, but it will give a sharp transition to the bit that was given. Then, since the upper channel is I channel and the lower channel is Q channel, it will be multiplied by their respective carriers. The I channel will be multiplied with cos omega naught t, and the lower channel, that is Q channel, will be multiplied by sin omega naught t, and these two will be summed up to obtain the symbol. How it is summed up is, this one will be plus, this one will be minus. This is because of the reason that whenever I multiply two complex entity where g of t is written as x plus jy and e to the power j omega t, when you expand you are going to obtain cos omega naught t plus j sin omega naught t. If you are going to multiply and obtain only the real part, I am going to just get the s of t in the form of x into cos omega naught t minus y, y of t will be there, I am just writing it in short, minus sin omega naught t. This will be the real part. So therefore, I am just adding the cosine part and subtracting the sine part. So this is how the D8PSK symbols are modulated. Why this is important is, let me tell you what will happen in the encoder first. First, they are going to map all the symbols onto IQ. So for every 3-bit combination, I have to assign I value and Q value. How that is done is, first thing is, they are going to have an IQ plot. Now they are going to locate all the 8 symbols along the circle. All along the 0 to 360 degree angle, they are going to first locate the 8 symbols. Where are those 8 symbols? The first symbol, second symbol, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and then 8th. So these are the 8 symbols which are 45 degree apart from each other. So these are the locations of these symbols. Now, by looking at the locations of the symbols, I can make out what is the I and Q values for the individual symbols. If you see the coordinates for this is 1, 0. Assume that this is amplitude is equal to 1. The circle is of the amplitude equal to 1. We are assuming that. So this one will be 1, 0. This one would be exactly 45 degree. So this 45 degree, if you want to recognize what is the x and q value, drop a perpendicular from this. So now you can calculate what is x value and what is y value from this projected line. Since the angle subtended by this point at the origin is 45 degree, x comma y will be 0.707 comma 0.707. Both the values will be equal to 0.707 and 0.707. Coming to third symbol, this is 0, 1 and this is minus 0.707 plus 0.707. Okay. Similarly, the fifth symbol is going to have minus 1, 0. This one would be minus 0.707 minus 0.707. This one is 0, minus 1 and this one would be plus 0.707, minus 0.707. So these are the coordinates or the x and I and q values of the individual symbols after we map it onto the IQ plane. Once we get their amplitudes, we are just going to take the value of I and q, multiply the I value with cosine function and q value with the sine function. But while doing so, we need to first assign where my bit combinations rise in. That means this is simple S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S6, S7, I know that. S8, till S8 I know that these are the continuous symbols. But while assigning the bit streams, while assigning the bit combinations to each and every phase, we are going to follow what is called as gray coding. So how do we do this data encoding? Yes, we are going to take this X, Y and Z. We are going to assign the differential phase. We are going to assign the phases for this. Okay, that is individual bit combination phases. Observe here. So we are going to start off with all zero combination. We are going to do the gray coding part. Next combination would be 0 0 1. Then next one would be 0 1 1. Then after 0 1 1 it is 0 1 0. Then it is 1 1 0 1 1 1 1 0 1 1 0 0. So we have covered all the 8 combinations now, starting from all 0 to all 1s. So this method of coding is called as gray coding. You can see from one bit combination to the other bit combination, there is only one bit change. So here you can see there is only LSB changing. Here the middle bit is changing. When it comes to fourth combination, again LSB is changing. Then MSB is changing here. And here coming to this, LSB is changing. Then middle bit is changing. Then last your LSB is changing. So like this we are going to do all the combinations, bit combinations we are trying to assign, and using this analogy only we are going to now continuously going to assign the phases for this. For all 0 I am going to assign a phase 0, that is the I axis. Then for 0 0 1 I am going to assign pi by 4, which is this angle. So I am going to write the angles also. Here it is pi by 4. See, let me write it in another color so that you will be able to recognize. This phase is 0 and this one is pi by 4. This one is 3 pi by 2 pi by 4. 2 pi by 4. 3 pi by 4. 4 pi by 4. 5 pi by 4. 6 pi by 4. 7 pi by 4. Why am I writing like this? We know that the phase difference pi I is written as 2 pi I by m, and here m value is equal to 8. That means it is the integral multiple of pi by 4. Therefore I am writing it like this: 0 pi by 4, 1 pi by 4, 2 pi by 4, so on up to 7 pi by 4. I have written this. Now I am going to assign the phases for the bit combinations. For all zeros it is 0 phase. For 0 0 1 pi by 4. Then next phase assignment is 2 pi by 4, 3 pi by 4, 4 pi by 4, 5 pi by 4, 6 pi by 4, 7 pi by 4. Okay, so these are the phase assignments for the individual bit combination. Till here it is okay? Till here have you understood? Do you have any doubts?
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, are these XK, YK and ZK are the 3 symbols or
Not
these
3
symbols?
symbols. See, I said there are 8 symbols here. M is equal to 8. M is equal to 8. How many bits constitute one symbol? So we already calculated that its value is equal to 3. So 3 bits is equal to one symbol. So whatever this XK, YK, ZK are the bits that we are trying to transmit. Okay, 3 bits, if you group 3 bits at a time, you are going to send one symbol. And to send that symbol, you are going to assign a carrier waveform. To do the carrier assignment, I need phase, because we are talking about phase shift keying. All the 8 symbols should have its own unique phase. So, to do this, to give the particular phase for the individual bit combination, we have done this gray coding method, where we have encoded. Now we have made the message symbols to be assigned with the individual phases, and we call this as a phase difference. Now we have only discussed till here, but we have not discussed how the differential part is coming into picture. If you remember the differential phase shift keying, we were taking the phase of the previous bit in order to when we encoded it. If you remember, if this is pi 0, if this is assigned like this, we used to take whether if the phases are same, we used to assign it to 1. If the phases are different, it is 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, like this. We used to assign, depending on the change in the phases, we are going to compare it with the previously sent bit, and then we are going to do that recognition on the transmitter or on the receiver. Here also we are going to do the same. How we are going to do it is, we are going to make use of the differential phase encoding. Instead of encoding the bits, we are going to do differential phase encoding. So what is the equation or the algorithm that we are using here is, to transmit the phase at time instance k, we are going to transmit the phase at time instance k such that this k, the phase at time k will be sent, which consists of the phase of the previous symbol, the phase of the previously transmitted symbol plus the differential phase recognized for that particular bit stream. Please note down this algorithm. This is the algorithm or the rule that is followed to do the differential phase encoding procedure for D8 PSK. Now I will take some examples and then I'll explain. You please make a note of these things. If it is okay, then I'll continue. Fine? Till here it is fine? Say yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to erase this part. I'll keep this table as is because I want this. Now I will make a random bit stream. So I will group the random bit stream into set of 3. So xk, yk, zk, I will be transmitting 110, 001, 110, 010. Assume these are the some random bit stream, and I will be transmitting these at time instance k is equal to 1, k is equal to 2, k is equal to 3, and k is equal to 4. So in the 4 symbol durations, I am transmitting 4 symbols here. I want to do the differential phase assignment while transmitting these symbols. How to do that is, I assume that we will need an initial phase when time instance k is equal to 0. The phase of the carrier when at time instance k is equal to 0, we assume it to be equal to 0. Okay, that means to start off with, it will lie along the x-axis. That is what is our assumption. Now first we need to do, in order to do this procedure of differential phase, I need to first know what are the individual phase assignments, and then I can do this procedure of adding the phases. Okay, I can do this entire procedure. So first I will try to make a note of what is the differential phase assigned for individual bit combination. So I am writing the differential phase, and I am writing the actual phase that will be transmitted, that is phi k. And to this phi k, what are the I and q values such that they are going to get multiplied with the carriers, that I want to recognize. Now you see here, what is the phase assigned for 110? Look at this table and tell me, what is the phase assigned for 110? For 110, the phase assigned is equal to 4 pi by 4, which is nothing but pi. Coming to the second case, for 001, the phase that is assigned, the differential phase assigned is equal to pi by 4. Then again, 110 we are seeing, so again the phase is equal to pi. For 010, the phase, instantaneous phase or the differential phase assigned is 3 pi by 4. Once we have noted this down, now we are going to do this differential phase encoding. How to do that? So phase at this position when k is equal to 1, when k is equal to 1, phi 1 is equal to phi 0 plus delta phi 1, right? So what is phi 0? I have assumed it to be 0 phase, and what is delta phi 1? It is equal to phi. So this will be equal to pi. Coming to the second, when k is equal to 2, so it is phi 2 is equal to phi 1 plus delta phi 2, which means it is
Ma'am, delta phi k is
huh,
ma'am, delta phi k is next row, no, ma'am.
hmm?
Delta phi k and phi k row mismatched, no, ma'am.
Yeah, that
Delta phi k
huh.
is below
Yeah, delta
and
phi
phi
k
k is
is
above.
the absolute, I mean, the delta phi k is the bit, to the bit combination I'm assigning certain phases. This is the
Okay.
phases assigned to the bits. But we are not going to send these bits as is, but rather we are going to do differential phase. That means in order to send this symbol after this symbol after this symbol, I'm not going to send pi and pi by 4. Instead, I'm going to take the difference between the two phases. Only the difference I'm going to send. I'm not sending the absolute information, so that we can recurringly depend on the previous bit, and then we can obtain the reconstruct the information. By doing like this, the basic advantage is you need not have to have any synchronization between the transmitter and the receiver. That's the basic necessity to go with the differential modulation techniques. The differential modulation techniques will give us the flexibility by not using the synchronization methods. That does not require any synchronization methods on the receiver side. Now coming to k is equal to 2 case, where phi 2 is equal to phi 1 plus delta phi 2. So phi 1 is pi plus pi by 4. This value will be equal to 5 pi by 4. Coming to k is equal to 3, it is 5 pi by 4 plus pi, which means it is 9 pi by 4. It is going to be 9 pi by 4. Subtract 2 pi from that, you are going to get pi by 4, because all the angles should fit in within the 0 to 360 degree only. If it extends beyond the 360 degree, subtract pi by 2 2 pi from that. You are going to get pi by 4 as the answer. Next, pi by 4 plus 3 pi by 4, you are going to get pi as the answer. Now, we know the individual amplitudes, the I and Q values for these values of the phases. This was 5 pi by 4. Now, if you remember, we had written that circle here where we had done the amplitude assignments, that is I and Q values for these angles. So, we are going to do that assignment now. The I value for this pi is -1 and Q value was 0. For 5 pi by 4, it belongs to which quadrant? It belongs to the second quadrant, third quadrant, where the value of 5 pi by 4 is -0.707 and the Q value is also -0.707. Coming to pi by 4, both will be positive and with the value 0.707. Again there is pi, so this will be -1 and this is going to be 0. This is how we are going to assign the I and Q values. So whenever I am going to transmit a symbol at time instance k is equal to 1, I am going to transmit a symbol such that S of t will be sent in such that, I will write it over here. I'll take an example of k is equal to 2 so that you will get an idea. So at k is equal to 2, what I am going to transmit from this modulator is, I am going to obtain S of t is equal to, what is I value? We are going to do this procedure. I value is -0.707, multiply it with cos omega naught t, then subtract, what is Q value? -0.707 that will be multiplied with sine omega naught t. So whatever this symbol that we are going to transmit, the waveform will be of this form, plus 0.707 sine omega naught t. This you can write either in with a reference to sine carrier or in the cosine carrier. If I write this in terms of sine carrier, I can write it as a single waveform that is written in the form of sine omega naught t minus pi by 4 using the formulas of sine a plus b or sine a minus b. We can represent it like this. So this is how a symbol is transmitted in a modulator. So this is nothing but this is a what phase shifted carrier. Which is that carrier? The Q carrier. It is the pi by 4 phase lagged sinusoid with respect to the sine omega naught t. That means if I am going to plot the sinusoidal wave, let me plot this sinusoidal wave. I am plotting with respect to time t. This is S of t. I will also write C of t here itself. So observe here. If I am going to have a quadrature carrier, that means it is sine, means it is having the 0 phase at a time t is equal to 0. This is your carrier C of t. Now if I write sine omega naught minus pi by 4, then exactly at this point, this is pi by 2, this is pi by 4, 3 pi by 4 and then 4 pi by 4. At this point your sine wave starts. It will look like this. This is your actual symbol waveform that you are going to transmit. Instead of sending the carrier itself, you are going to send a phase delayed or phase lagged information which is sent after pi by 4 phase. Is that clear? Fine. This is how the sinusoids are represented. So when we send this information, the receiver, it has to first identify the first symbol properly, only then it will get to know the rest of the symbols. That is one disadvantage of D8 PSK systems, differential systems. But I hope this modulator part is clear. Do you have any doubts? This will be there for the test. Portions will be there for the test. So make sure you have understood. If you have any doubts so far, you can ask. Any doubts?
At k is equal to 1 and k is equal to 4, both will get pi and pi as 5k, no ma'am.
Yes.
So both will be same. How it will be differentiated, ma'am? Like same waveform only will.
Okay. Now I will, when I discuss the demodulator, maybe you will get that. Okay. Of course, if I discuss the demodulator, you will be able to appreciate this, how this is going to be discussed, or why it is how differential is going to work. Now I will come to that. If you have understood modulator, I will come to demodulator now. Will that be okay? Shall we go with the demodulator?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll start off with k is equal to 1. So what is transmitted actually? S of t that is transmitted is minus 1 into cos omega naught t. Correct? This I can also write it as cos omega naught t plus pi. Means it is phase shifted by pi. I can write it like this. So what you are going to do? In the demodulator, what we are going to do, I will write the demodulator structure here itself at the top. S of t is transmitted. Now in the demodulator, we do the exact reverse process. We obtain this S of t along with the noise. There will be noise, but assume that as of now there is no noise in the channel. We will pass this S of t into another multiplier, where you are going to generate the absolute carriers or the basis functions, where one will be cos function, the other one is the sine function. You are going to multiply, then We are just going to pass these individual things through an LPF, that is low pass filter. Then we are going to obtain the reconstructed I value and Q value. This is I dash Q dash. So let me name this point, detection point as A and this point as B. I'll name these points as A dash and B dash. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to write. This is the demodulator structure. This is the demodulator. Now I will take an example. Assume that at a time instance k is equal to 1, I have transmitted S of t is equal to minus cos omega naught t. There is no sine function. What it will do? This signal will be passed to both cosine channel and sine channel. So on the demodulator side, what will happen? At the point A, you will get an output which is multiplication of minus cos omega naught t, that is S of t, multiplied with cos omega naught t. So which is nothing but minus cos square omega naught t. If I write this in trigonometry with respect to trigonometric identity, I will get this as minus of 1 plus 2 cos omega naught t divided by 2. Yes or not? Am I correct? Is this correct? Guys, please respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Okay. So once we get like this, what we are going to do next time? You are going to pass this A through an LPF. When you pass this LPF, the higher frequency term, which is cos 2 omega naught t, will get filtered out because it's a low pass filter. It's a low pass filter which will have the cutoff far lesser than this 2 omega naught. Therefore, this will get cut off. Only thing that will be left over is minus half, or you can write it as minus 1 with a scaled factor. It's a scaled version of minus 1. That means you have obtained minus 1 back. You have got A dash as minus 1. Of course, B dash will be 0. Why B dash will be 0? If you look at the signal obtained at B, point B, it is minus cos omega naught t into sin omega naught t, which is equal to minus sin 2 omega naught t divided by 2. If you pass this signal through an LPF, since it's a higher frequency term, it will give out a 0 at B dash. At B dash, you are going to get 0 output. So, which is a valid output now? Only A dash with minus 1. So, when you compare minus 1 with respect to your table, come back to the table. In the table, you tell me minus 1 corresponds to, I know its phase corresponds to pi. So, corresponding to delta phi is equal to pi, what was the bits that was assigned? Can you tell me that? Yes? Guys, tell me.
110010, ma'am.
Correct. 110 was the bit stream that was assigned to the phase difference pi. You can see that at k is equal to 1, 110 was transmitted. Of course, this is with the assumption that the receiver also knows that the initial phase is 0. This is with the assumption that the receiver already knows that the initial phase is 0. Now, I will take another instance. I will take k is equal to 2 case. Now, you see what happens. Now, my assumption is that assume at k is equal to 1, phase of the transmitted symbol is detected properly. That is what is our assumption. for anything for that matter. If you take any time in between, if you want to show the detection process, you need to assume this, that the phase of the previously transmitted symbol is detected properly, and in this case it happens to be equal to pi, k is equal to 1. So now we will come to k is equal to 2 case. On the transmitter side, when I take k is equal to 2, I'll erase this diagram. I'll write the transmitter equation first, then I'll come to the receiver. At k is equal to 2, you can see here, at k is equal to 2, I already have I and q values. I'm going to use this. K is equal to 2, so S of t would be of the form minus 0.707 into cos omega naught t plus, I'm writing it directly, it could be minus of minus 0.707 multiplied by sin omega naught t. This is what you're going to transmit. This can be written as minus 0.707 into cos omega naught t plus 0.707 into sin omega naught t. You are going to write it like this, right? This will be transmitted. So now at the receiver, what will happen? At point A, you're going to multiply this S of t with cos omega naught t, and at point B, you're going to multiply this S of t with the sin omega naught t. When you do that, you're going to obtain minus 0.707 cos square omega naught t plus 0.707 sin omega naught t into cos omega naught t. You're going to get this expression. Once you resolve this, you're going to get minus 0.707 multiplied by 1 plus cos 2 omega naught t divided by 2 plus 0.707 divided by 2 into sin 2 omega naught t. When you pass this through the LPF, once you pass this through the low pass filter at point A dash, you're going to get this high frequency term will vanish, and this also entire thing will vanish. Only thing that is left out is the scaled version of 0.707. It is scaled by half. So I am taking this as minus 0.707 multiplied with the scaled factor. Okay. Similarly, if I take in the case of point B, it will be of the form minus 0.707 into, I'll write this directly, sin 2 omega naught t plus 0.707. I think I missed out one thing here. In the sin, whenever I am going to take this S of t, whenever I am multiplying this, the upper channel will be multiplied by cos omega naught t, and the lower channel will be multiplied by the complex conjugate. That means it will be multiplied with minus sin omega naught t. Sorry, I did not mention previously. Please make a note of this. While we are doing the demodulator, we are going to multiply this S of t with the complex conjugate of the carrier, which is of e to the power minus j omega naught t. When we expand this into Euler's formula, you are going to get cos omega naught t minus j sin omega naught t. So that minus sign is taken care here. You have to write this minus sign. Pardon me for that. Please make a note of this. So this minus sign will help us in, see here, you're going to have sin already, sin omega naught t with another minus sin omega naught t will be there. So this comes out to be minus 0.707. This becomes sin square omega naught t. Sin square omega naught t is 1 minus cos 2 omega naught t divided by 2. That means this value is again the scaled version of minus 0.707. So now you got to know what is A dash and B dash value. you got to know what is A dash and B dash value. You can see there the A dash value is minus 0.707. B dash value is also minus 0.707. Of course, they are scaled together. Then you can say that the corresponding phase to these two are 5 pi by 4, because it lies in the third quadrant where both the x and y value will be negative. So having said that, the phase corresponding to this IQ value is 5 pi by 4, and I have already assumed that the pi is identified properly. Now how to identify the absolute phase that was actually sent? To know the absolute phase, it is basically the reverse operation of this equation. To find out the delta k, I have to subtract phi k with phi k minus 1. That means in order to obtain delta phi 2, I need to subtract phi 2 with phi 1. Phi 2 I know, now it is 5 pi by 4, and I know the previous phase that was detected, which is equal to pi. When I subtract, I am going to get my pi by 4 as the phase difference. Now if you see the pi by 4 phase difference, which bit was actually assigned there with pi by 4? It was, the first combination was all zeros, and the next combination for pi by 4 was 0, 0, 1. And you can see that for pi by 4, the actual phase assignment is 0, 0, 1. I mean the bits, for pi by 4, the bits assignment is 0, 0, 1. So like this we can do the reverse operation. You have to make use of the same encoding procedure in order to do the decoding also. So you are just going to manipulate this very same equation in order to get the rule for the decoding procedure also. I hope this is fine. Understood? Do you have any doubts so far? No doubts? Or full of doubts? Yes or no? Tell me. Okay. So this is it with respect to the differential 8PSK modulator and demodulator. Okay, you can take any bit stream here, you can take your own bit stream and then try to do the same analysis. You are going to get the same answer. So we are going to stop it here. In the next class we are going to do the error analysis, or how to find out what will happen if there is a detection error. What if I detect some bits as 1 instead of 0, or zeros instead of 1s, then how to measure that error probability, that we are going to see in the next class. For that I will give you an introduction video. Please, everyone must view the video before coming to the next class. So make sure that you are going to see all the videos before coming to the next class. I will be posting it very soon on the YouTube. I am going to share you the link. So before coming to next lab, you should be coming prepared. And Thursday we have said that you are going to have quiz. So quiz will be after 5. Timings will be given by today evening. Okay, I'll mention the timing by today evening. So please be prepared for the quiz. So that's it. You all can exit. You can join the next class.
Ma'am?
Yes.